Hello, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency traders checking in on the bigger picture. We had a news reaction yesterday with Square purchasing $50 million worth of Bitcoin. Now what started as a 1 or 2 off with STMP and other companies, we are now seeing it become a trend, and that is bullish for the space. I personally made an entry based off of this news. We'll look over all of that and more in just a moment. Stay tuned. So starting it off with a check-in on the dollar and the asset bulls, whether it's the stock market or metals or crypto, are loving the past 2 weeks of action. Weekly consolidation, getting further follow through. And again, we are just looking back down at the low of 91.75. We are currently about $1.40 from our support level, while we are currently about $1.60 from our resistance level. So falling back into the middle of that bounce range, and most importantly, not seeing any follow through on this bounce at this point. So with that, we had Bitcoin in our tightening equilibrium, and we were watching a very slow and boring tightening range over the last week, but we knew that it was just a matter of time before the bull break took place. Even in the Chart Guys chat room, we see messages slowing down, we see less and less activity, and we know that means it's equilibrium season, and we know to be paying attention for that spike in the very near-term future. So I was planning on waiting for this equilibrium to break. I did not have confidence that we were going to see a bull break as a result of this tightening pattern, so I figured I'll just wait and see. Patience, no big deal. And as soon as that news hit yesterday morning of Square SQ going in for 50 million Bitcoin, $50 million, that triggered me to market buy. Just boom, in on news. Why? Because we've had a slew of negative headlines with exchanges being in trouble and just headline after headline over the past 2 weeks, and Bitcoin has not broken support in response to bearish headlines. So the instant bullish news comes out, probabilities just go in favor of bulls. Are we going to break support on SQ news? No. Worst case scenario would be bulls don't get follow through. And that's a kind of position that I want to put myself in, where the risk would be a lack of bull follow through as opposed to a big drop through support. So fortunately, we have broken a couple levels. My market buy was around 10,700. There was a delayed reaction to this news, which was also nice. And we were, posting that news right away at, I believe, 9, early in the morning. I believe it was right after the bell rang. I would have to double check that, but I believe around 9, right here. So there it is. So before the bell rang, and you can see the first leg up was a 1% move. And then we chilled out for a while. There's your 2% follow through. Then we got another percent. So it's not a huge breakout. We need more follow through, but there was a nice delayed reaction. So what I need to see from here, we've already taken out 2 levels very clearly, and that's confidence building. What I want to see is more bull volume today than yesterday and a break of 11,180. That would take out the 3 nearby resistance levels on the same move on increasing bull volume. That would increase our probabilities that our monthly bull flag is forming, and this is a monthly bull flag. The burden of proof is on the bears to break 9,800 support and prove to us it's not a bull flag, and I like this setup. We're seeing risk on in the markets the last couple of days, with crypto and the marijuana sector both breaking out. Those are risk on sectors where they are the highest risk reward that you can get as far as sectors are concerned, and they're going up. So that shows me market-wide confidence. S&P 500 has been up nicely the last 3 days, and all of those things are bullish. So my stop is under 10,300. I'll move it up eventually. I'll probably move it up now to 10,500, and I will. So just decided that right here. Initially, my stop was under 10,300, risking about $400 swing trade position, and I'm going to move that stop up and hope we break 11,180 for follow through, because after that resistance level, there is limited resistance up until 12,000. So a good reaction to that news. We had a couple clues. We had the Trader Pro alert system firing off the abnormal volume. There's the abnormal volume on the 15-minute time frame in response to the news. Then we had 15-minute abnormal volume showing us some sideways consolidation, because we have to remember that abnormal volume occurs at different times. It occurs on a news spike, absolutely, but it also occurs at tops and bottoms, because we're seeing the highest influx of volume from both the bulls and the bears at the same time, giving us a high period of volume where we then either consolidate or see a short-term bounce if we're going down. Obviously, we're going up in this instance, so sideways consolidation. And then here again, another alert telling us high volume. We already know the bulls have volume on their side, but the high volume is showing bears as well as bulls battling it out. So periods of consolidation marked by the abnormal volume after the initial breakout abnormal volume fired off in reaction to that news. So the Bitcoin dominance chart had a bull break, but we're lacking follow through. Again, just drawing this line of resistance here. We got over it, but not seeing the sustained kind of move. So essentially altcoin bulls are pleased that they are responding well to this Bitcoin bull move. We had the initial influx into Bitcoin on its equilibrium break, and then it looks like we dispersed a bit as far as altcoins keeping up with the Bitcoin bull move. ETH/USD, daily resistance of 356.12 has broken. The level is 370.25. And if 370.25 breaks, we're then looking back at the weekly time frame of 394.55. And you can draw this in an equilibrium if you pull up the 3-day time frame. I don't use this time frame often, but high, low, lower high, higher low. Lower high is 370.25. Higher low is now 332.87. If we do not break 370.25, it is not a clear bull break. And even though I am currently in a swing trade position for Bitcoin, I want to see ETH break this resistance. I want as much confidence in the crypto space for the bulls as possible. And while that might divert some attention from Bitcoin to ETH, certainly would not lead to BTC going down, in my opinion. It would just lead to ETH going up faster. So that's a key resistance level. Just like Bitcoin bulls need to break 11,180, ETH needs to break 370.25. ETH BTC now bouncing, so holding this support level, and if these bulls can break 3386, that will be a very notable shift as well, back from bearish control to the bulls. So that is an important resistance level. And I'm just watching 3088 and 3386 as far as the range as the bulls are trying to make their way back up towards resistance. Link USD, wish I had this entry. Knew to be looking for another entry opportunity based off of 731 support. Just got a bit distracted with MJ breaking out and a whole lot going on, but nice bounce on the daily time frame. The playoff 731 support was there, and if we break 1123, our weekly higher low will be set, and we then zoom out and watch for the weekly lower high. But a nice base of support being established and shift in momentum back to the bulls on this Bitcoin break. And we know that anything above 835 from here will be a daily higher low. BNB USDT is still worth watching. We have a very tight daily equilibrium forming. Anything under 29.27 is just a lower high. We formed a new daily support level at 26.49, so a nice bottom fishing entry opportunity for that daily higher low. And now it's just a question of, can we break resistance, or do we remain in this tightening range through the weekend? So we can see on a lot of these names, we do still have a clear short-term resistance level to be watching that the bulls ideally want to get over. XMR USDT has been a lead altcoin bull. This daily uptrend and daily 12-period exponential support has been great and very convincing. So a new high over 114.52, anything over 102.15 keeps the daily higher lows intact. And as far as the next resistance level from here, we're looking up at that all-time high, at least on Binance, 121.55 as the next key level. Very clear daily uptrend, nice and steady. So I'm not really paying as much attention to XRP and LTC for obvious reasons. They are weaker. I'm not looking bearish right now, and I would rather play the stronger names bullish. That being said, as I just talked about with the risk on in the markets and seeing the highest risk sectors performing, and that's showing market confidence to me, I want to see the same thing in the cryptocurrency universe. I want to see LTC and XRP make bull breaks where the higher risk names, the weaker names, see some laggard moves because the overall confidence in the crypto space is enough that even the weaker names are going to participate. So it's something I'm keeping an eye on as well, because again, in my Bitcoin position, I want the crypto space as a whole as strong as possible, and that would mean even our weakest names playing a little bit of catch up. So I'm watching it for that reason. I'm not watching it for any individual trade entries on these names, but we want to see the entire space as a whole going up if we are going to get some confidence. Let's look back at Bitcoin one more time and play around with time frames to see what could be happening here if we were to reject from 11,180. That would be a tightening weekly range, and that's why that level is so important for me. We had our weekly low of consolidation, higher the bounce, higher low, and to try and resume the weekly uptrend, it's that 11,180 level. Short term, very healthy hourly consolidation, potentially a bull flag. We had a 4-hour bull flag confirm overnight. So no red flags on this move whatsoever. Just wanting a little bit more volume, little bit more follow through to have a nice, comfortable weekend. So now we have these one by one. We're getting more and more stocks to be watching that are relative to the cryptocurrency space. SQ is a huge bull. Just blue sky breakout and significant follow through. We know STMP has their position. Daily consolidation, no red flags there. That's the wrong ticker. And now I'm not going to be able to remember it off the top of my head. I know GLXY is another one that has cryptocurrency exposure. So definitely fun to watch the space morph. And we'll see how many other big companies hop on board this new trend. Do good things. Thanks for tuning in. And we will check in soon. Have a good rest of your weekend. Guess it hasn't started yet. Have a good Friday and weekend.